We're going to answer the question wine snobs have asked for days. What wine goes best with a spicy chicken sandwich? Let's find out. Hello, YouTube. I am a big fan of spicy chicken sandwiches, and I'm also a big fan of wine, which begs the question, how do you pair wine with a spicy chicken sandwich? The only way I can think to is by giving it a try. Let's see. Real quick, I got 5 different wines. First up, we got a nice cheap $10 Riesling from Giant. Next up, we got a Monterey County Chardonnay. Again, in that $10 price range. Then we got a Clos Chapon Vouvray from Chino. This is from the Loire Valley, where I just was this summer. Price unknown. But this is a sec wine, and sec, besides having 2 of them being how we exist, sec means dry. Then we have an old vine Zinfandel, again in that $10 range. And a Appellation Chino Contrôlé. This is a red Chino wine. Again, from the Loire Valley, where I just was. As for the spicy chicken sandwich, I got this particular one from Popeyes, mostly because Popeyes is the closest to me. Also because I like their spicy chicken sandwich a lot. And I also got the Cajun fries with some blackened ranch, and so we're going to be pairing all these things. Now keep in mind, I don't know too much about wine, but I do have taste buds, and I do know something about fried chicken, and I can describe things. So we're going to go and give this a try. We're going to start off sweet to dry. So we're starting off with the Riesling, moving on down and moving that way. So that's order of operations. We begin with a Riesling. This is that $10 Riesling from Giant. There's a bit of cork in there. That's for flavor. Nothing particular of note about this Riesling. Very minerally. Smells exactly like a Riesling should. Extraordinarily sweet. There's almost no minerality in this whatsoever. Almost no depth. This is sugar water. If I were 11 years old, I would love that wine. But I am not. And we begin with the first pairing. As always, the food is room temperature. Now that wasn't a very spicy bite, but okay. That kind of completely eliminated the flavor from the Riesling. Mostly because it was not a spicy bite, but that Riesling is so sweet. And chicken sandwiches from fast food places also tend to be a little bit sweet because they use potato buns and they're very sweet. So it kind of counteracted it. It made it worse. This is not a good pairing. How is it with blackened ranch? Let's find out. A little better. Overall, not a huge fan of this wine. I don't even know what you'd do with it. It's so sweet. Give it to hummingbirds. I don't know. That ain't for me. I used to think I had a sweet tooth, but I guess not with everything. Now this is a Chardonnay, again in that $10 range. I did want to just pick up the bottle, just because this is a Monterey County / Sonoma County. It's 72% Monterey County, 28% Sonoma. Now Sonoma is, in the United States, generally synonymous with fancy. Since that's where a lot of the high-priced wineries are. But Monterey County is excellent for Chardonnays. I learned that from a wine program, and I'm passing it on to you. Let's see how it pairs. Ooh, before we see how it pairs, let's see how it smells. That's the thing about a Popeyes chicken sandwich and all fast food. The entire room has been taken over by Popeyes. So what am I smelling from this, being so close to the sandwich? Popeyes. Not much of a nose on it at all, honestly. Which could mean that it's steel barrel aged. Yeah, I don't think that's not a tremendously oaky Chardonnay. Very buttery, but not oaky. Very round, but not a very strong flavor profile. I'm not picking up much from it. It could also be that fast food just overpowers everything and we've ruined my taste buds on the first bite. Well, let's try to pair it. Even ice cold, the fried chicken sandwich is so good. That was a bit of a spicier bite. This Popeyes doesn't make their spicy fried chicken very spicy. I'm not getting much. It could be that there's no way to pair wine with a spicy chicken sandwich. So far, it has turned two very sweet wines into very dry wines. They both taste like Sauvignon Blancs, like $2 Chuck Sauvignon Blancs. I mean, this is so incredibly sweet and flavorful, and it's also kind of spicy that nothing has cut through it. Sweet on sweet crime, I ain't gonna do the time. How about Black and Ranch? Also thick and sweet. Okay, that's much nicer. It certainly enhanced the butteriness of it. Again, I think we've also discovered that at Giant, for $10, your money really isn't going very far. It's an interesting Chardonnay. I would gladly have this with dinner. All you're really tasting is butter, and there's not much else. It's one note. Just like that one was one note of honeysuckle or sugar water. It went well with the Black and Ranch and the fry. But now we get into the fun stuff. Chino Wine. Okay, very floral. This is sec, so it's dry. We only have one sec here, no secs. Yeah, very floral. It's not betraying much. Again, I think it just be because I'm sitting next to a very pungent sandwich here. Now that's really good. That's tremendous. Very, very floral. I would equate this flavor to walking through an orchard, perhaps. You're walking through an orchard and you see a couple of roses and some sunflowers and you take a bite of an apple. That's what this tastes like here. You're smelling a garden, biting an apple. A sweet one, too. Or a mild apple. A mild apple, strong garden. Name of my new band. This is what I've been looking forward to the most, though. Okay, my mouth is full of spicy. Man, this overpowers everything. Not the wine, the sandwich. I can barely taste anything at all. We might have to do an emergency switcheroo here, but it has removed all the floral. It has removed all of the apple, and all I taste now is cold. Also, the middle of the sandwich is much spicier than the ends. So we will have a blackened ranch fry. Let's go on record. Blackened ranch is the superior condiment they offer at Popeyes. Fight me in the comments below. Okay. When the French decided to make wine, they had no idea a spicy chicken sandwich was coming their way. So far, none of the white wines are really paired with this all that well, which leads us to the Zinfandel. We get onto the reds. Usually when you pair chicken with wine, you go with a white wine, but apparently fried chicken is no longer chicken. It is no longer in the chicken family. We're going to move on to the Zinfandel. Now this is not the Zinfandel I usually get. Zins and Syrahs are my two favorite. And Zinfandel, I'll give you a fun little wine fact here, is considered by Oz Clarke. Oz Clarke has a book back there. Oh, by Oz Clarke. Don't know if the camera can see that. TV's own Oz Clarke said that Zinfandel is the most American wine there is. And that is because during Prohibition, all of our vineyards were just completely stripped except for Zinfandel grapes, because Zinfandel grapes were used for communion wine. And so, this is the only way to get old country or old vines. Now, why are old vines important? They carry so much more flavor than young vines. If you go over to France and go over to the Bordeaux region, I mean, some of these vines are up there for hundreds and hundreds of years. And you'll have a wine from 2018, and it tastes like it could be perhaps a 2007. It is so bold and so full of flavor. And that's the closest thing we're ever going to get to competing with some of these big giant wines from Europe and some of the old countries. But Zinfandels are often very sweet and fruity. That's what I'm smelling here. Again, if you spend $20 on a Zinfandel, you're going to get a great one. I've never had this one. This is a $10 one. Ravenswood is not a sponsor. Oh. That is as Zin as a Zin can get. That's quite good. It's quite a deep flavor. Not a particularly rich flavor, but it's a deep note, if that makes sense. Very tart. Dark cherry. That's probably the best flavor comp I would get. Or perhaps a Twizzler. Dark cherry Twizzler. We got chicken on the brain, chicken on the taste palate. Let's see what Zinfandel does. It doesn't pair. It's not even close. The spicy chicken sandwich runs laps around this poor thing. I tasted very dark cherry, very deep notes of fruit, very, very sweet. And as soon as I ate that chicken sandwich, I now taste nothing. Nothing whatsoever. It takes away all the character from the wine. You get some in the back, you get a little bit of vanilla in the back, but get the vanilla out of the back. Bring it up to the front. How does Blackened Ranch do? Cold, cold Blackened Ranch. No. No, thank you. That doesn't go with Blackened Ranch at all. We're here on the last one. So far, no good. Oh my gosh. Now that's a wine right there. Right off the bat, it is like smelling a rose. It's like smelling a rose and somebody is wafting a cherry pie near you. A lot of garden references, but I guess that's what Chino has. And that does make sense, because when biking through Chino, all the vineyards had all this lavender and sunflowers and wildflowers growing all around it to sort of promote a natural ecosystem of helpful bugs. Man, I could just spend all day doing that. It smells like you go to Home Depot and you go to like the power tools section. It's like I have a rose underneath my lapel and I'm sniffing all the plastics on the power tools section. Tastes like it too. I mean, it tastes like how polymer should taste. Like you go into Best Buy and the electronics have that like very plasticky but delicious smell. The smell of expensive electronics. Copper, silicon. Very metallic. And in a good way. Again, if copper was delicious, if a penny tasted as good as it smelled, I don't know if pennies smell good. And to some folks like eating pennies. Anyways, it's a very good wine. It's a very unique flavor, which is why I'm having a hard time describing it. Usually you can equate it to some sort of fruit. Pomegranate and pie crust. That's what I'm getting off that. Alright, chicken sandwich. Are you going to be 5 for 5, killing all my wines? No. Oh my god, finally. This at least has a chance. It has a chance. Does it pair? No. Can you taste it? Yes. I can finally taste the wine. Now it has rendered it into Dr. Pepper. Tastes very much like Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb. But it doesn't completely overpower it. And I'm a little thankful for that. However, I think we're learning something very important. If you're going to have a spicy chicken sandwich, I think there's only one thing you can pair with it. Let me go get it real quick. And that's a soft drink. Specifically, Coca-Cola. What a welcome relief. I don't even drink soda. I don't particularly like soda anymore. But I like soda right now. Yes. Coca-Cola is the only thing strong enough to stand up to fast food. Which is why I'm guessing they serve Coca-Cola and Pepsi products instead of Zinfandels and Chardonnays. So we learned something. Don't try to be fancy if you're eating fast food. Have a Coke. Not a sponsor. Thanks for watching.